we're ready and rocking to roll. So welcome to my Facebook Live, and I look forward to seeing you letting me know that you're here. My name is Anita Mazzero. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Horsham, Victoria, Australia. If you see the little live button just up there, you know that you're watching me live here on Facebook. Hi Jacinta, how are you? If you are, please pop in and say hi. I'd love to know that you are watching. And if you're watching the replay, please also let me know. And if you're watching the replay on YouTube, I'd also like to know that you are watching. I like to know what you think too as well, because it helps me prepare for future classes that we do online. So anyway, I don't know what the weather's like with anyone else. Hello, Glenda, welcome. How are you? I hope the weather's nice where you are. It's a little bit cooler at the moment again. We've got to expect it, I suppose, but, you know, it's getting on to winter. Can you believe May is nearly over and we're getting that wet? Oh, Jacinta, you're battling the flu. Oh, that's no good. I hope you recover fairly quickly, because there's nothing worse than battling the flu. So, as I said, it's we're nearly the end of May, and that means our catalogue's been going live for nearly 4 weeks. And it also means that our joining offer will no longer be available. So if you've been sitting on the fence and thinking about whether or not to join the Stampin' Up community, which is a fabulous community, I have to admit. The people I've got to meet over the years in being part of the community outweighs everything else. For me, the community is everything. So if you enjoy your stamping hobby and you'd like a way of getting a discount, this is the perfect way to do it. And I would suggest to anyone to join, get their 20% discount and have a great time. You get to get the offers a month before it's released, which is great. And Glinda, you're having a lovely day. Now the fog's lifted. Ooh, I do not like fog. That's awful, but I'm glad it's nice now. So anyway, well, I'm going to flip the camera around and I'll explain our starter kit for you. Just one moment as we flip down, because you don't want to see everything at once. We'll just get it right. I think that looks about correct. I hope so for you, for everybody. If not, please let me know. Okay, now, the starter kit. As I was explaining to you just before, very windy there, Jacinta, so rainbows cop the wind. I believe it's bad in Adelaide, so obviously it's moving its way through. So anyway, just put this camera up a fraction. That's better, because I'm losing all the comments. Normally, when Stampin' Up have a starter kit at any other time of the year, you will still only pay $169, but normally you would get $235 worth of products of your choosing. But until the 31st of May, $303. That's a lot of products that you can purchase, and it's shipped to your door, shipping free. You just pay the $169, and then after that, you will receive your 20% discount. It's a lot there. Don't hesitate. If you are thinking about it and you want to know a little bit more, come and see me, jump online, and you can read about it. But I'm certain that those that are watching that have already joined would say it's probably one of the best things they've ever done. I know for me personally, it has been. So that's what's happening at the moment. Right. Our annual catalogue, of course, was released on the 6th of May. So we're just about 4 weeks into it. And this is a wonderful catalogue. We also had on the 6th of May a huge line of products on our online store. And they are there as well. But I'm going to be using one that you might have missed. Let's take that away. So I've got this along these lines. Now, I will be honest, this was a stamp set I've struggled with. I looked at it and it didn't speak to me. I won this one on stage. So it just didn't speak to me. And I really have thought, I've got to play with it. I've got the stamp set. Let's use it. Once I got going, I started to see opportunities. And it's a lot of stamp sets. It may be just picking up something someone else has done or finding out how you can use any of the images in a card. That is how it all works. So anyway, we're going to make a card today, and I'll show you some of the ones that I started off with to get where I am today. Pop that away. Just going to, I've done a bit of cutting so it makes it a bit easier for you. So I've got my card base, 21 centimetres by 14.9, and I've scored it at 10.5. So we'll just fold that over. And just burnish the fold nicely in place. Because we want that to be nice and flat. I've then gone and embossed 2 pieces of the two-tone cardstock. Now, I had a little, did I bring it across? The two-tone cardstock is, if you look at this one, it's one shade one side, and if I go like that, you can see, I'll bring it a bit closer, so you can see that it's slightly different. But then when you tear it, it has a white core. So it's something really different. All our 12 by 12 papers in all of our 50 odd colours are now two-tone cardstock. So to compare that, this is a piece of our normal A4 cardstock. Now if I was to tear that, it is pigmented all the way through. So this is more what I would call printed colour on each side, hence it being white in the middle. But being white in the middle is very handy. So I'll just move them out of the way. So I've decided that I'm going to use the two-tone. I got a sheet of it at on stage. So I've got this Granny Apple Green. So as you can see, it's slightly, if I put them like that, one side is lighter than the other. I want the dark side. So I purchased, now if anyone wants to know, sanding blocks are fantastic for anything that we want to do where we want to just sand off a bit of colour. I got this one from Bunnings hardware store. It's a nice big block, nice bit of sponge in the middle, but it's flat, which makes sponging really easy. So I'm just going to slightly go across, and you'll see what the beauty of this two-tones cardstock does. This is also a fabulous product for scrapbookers. Now, how much better is that? Look at that. From just a plain piece to a white, to having that white. And that reminds me, you remember the old wallpaper that used to be flocked? So I'll just see a couple little pieces that need to be done. Just going to bring that through, and I'll sand the other one, which I'm going to use on the inside. So just very gently taking the sanding block, and being flat means that you're not going to have digs in your page. So just sand that off. And there we are. 2 pieces, beautifully done. And it's like you've coloured it, but you haven't really at all. So those 2 pieces are 4 centimetres by 14.1. I've got 2 pieces of the Granny Apple Green, 10 centimetres by 14.4. So one for the inside, one for the front. Then I've got a piece of white, and this is 3 millimetres smaller, 10.7 by 14.1. So that's just so that I can have a small border over the top. I then cut a piece, look at my notes, what I've got here, a piece of Granny Apple Green, 6.5 by 5.5, and then a piece of white, 6 by 5. And we're going to stamp on this piece. So the first thing we'll do is we'll do our stamping. And I'm going to use, I hope you can see that if I put it behind there. I'm going to use the, if I get the stamp. So this is the stamp set that I'm using. It doesn't have any dies or any words. This is all it is. So you've got a lot of these simple line images. And I'm sure if you followed the line from beginning to end, it probably for some of them would just about work like looping and scrolling. So you've got I suppose a shark, a tiger. You actually have a line if you need to use a line. You have a flower, you have a heart, you have a beautiful little puppy dog, a dove, a cycle, a dolphin. You've got another little half line, and then you've got the birthday cake. And I'm going to be using the birthday cake for this card. And I'm going to use Secret Sea. It is my favourite colour. I have to admit, I have used so much of this colour that I've got to push myself to use other colours, but I just like it. We had Pebble Path in our previous lot, and I love that because it was a good serviceable colour, and I found Secret Sea, for me, being that colour. And navy and green do go together. I'm going to stamp this in the middle, in the Secret Sea. I'm just going to get a wipe because I must have chipped my block. Just take a little bit of the excess ink so I don't smudge it before I clean them later on. Because this morning I was here and I was working away and decided I'd better go and wash my hands when I finished. And I had this great big mark on my forehead from where I must have wiped my hair out of my way, and as it was, I had ink on my face. So I'm going to take my blends, and I'm going to take the dark Daffodil Delight, and I'm just going to put, oops, wrong end, I want the fine end, not, just going to put a little bit of the colour on the candles. And I'm going to take Lemon Lime Twist. I'm just going to bring that in. Lemon Lime Twist is a good complement to Granny Apple. I'm just going to put in the little dots here so that the cake looks like it's got a bit of icing around it. Just pop that around there like so. Just to give it a bit of a lift. And I think what I might do, I'm going to get this out, and I'm going to get the granny apple. Just make sure that that's, yep. And I'm going to just put a little bit of colour just around the edges to break that white. Being that I'm a glass mat, I can pick up all the colour, so I'm not really wasting any of it. Because your brush does hold a fair bit. There we go. I just want a little bit of colour on that. Clean that out of the way. I want my brush because I'm going to use it again in a moment. So that's one part of the front of the card done. So on my other piece, I might as well do all the preparation and then work on the card. So on this piece, I'm going to just reach for my poor old embossing buddy. I've had this, I think I worked it out, about 15 years. It's getting very thin, but she's still very good. So I'm going to wipe that over here. And I'm going to use, I've got the Elements of Text. We've got beautiful wording, but I just want this round one. Because all of this is just, it's not scribble, but it's probably wording, but I call it scribble. But it's perfect for using on a card and giving it just a bit of added texture. Now with this one, I'm going to ink it up in our Versamark. And our Versamark ink is a great ink because it is sticky, it's great for embossing, and it's great for using if you just want to add a little bit to your cardstock without lifting any other colour. So I'm just going to pop that in the middle, just pop that down, put a bit of weight on it. And I did put it up the right way, I did, even though it's got writing on it. And I don't know if you can see on the camera. If you look, you can see which way the loops belong so that you've got it the right way. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to get my clear embossing powder. See if I can make this work again like it did last time. I'm just going to throw it on. Just like so. Hopefully I've got it all covered. And just drop it back in here. And I got it all coloured. Now you're not going to see this, unfortunately, on screen because the clear powder will give me a clear look. So I'm just going to heat emboss this and hopefully it will allow you to see it. Once it starts, it doesn't take long. Take all of it away. And there we go. I'm going to let that cool for a sec because I then want to blend a bit of colour over the top of it. So as you can, I don't know if you can see it on screen, but it's just, yeah, there, but it's not. So it's got a bit of colour. Yeah, so that's right now. So I'm going to take my granny apple, tap off some excess, and then I'm going to start blending the colour through. I've had this clear embossing powder for a long time, but I've got a feeling it's probably on its last legs. Because embossing powder does not work after a while. Even though I put ink over it completely, I put the embossing powder over it completely, it doesn't look, it worked beautifully this morning, but this afternoon it decided I'm not going to work a little bit. I'm just going to give it a gentle rub because I want, there it comes, just a gentle rub to take all that ink off. So this is what happens, it heat resists. So when you take your stamp and emboss, where the embossing has happened, this stays white. And I mean, I could have used white on white, but you know, so I've got that all done. Perfect. Now I will take one of my pieces and I'm going to glue that with a little bit of a white strip down here. This is a fairly simple card, and the effect, well, I feel personally, the effect is fantastic. I'm just going to pop some glue on the back. And pop that down. Making sure I've got the same width down the side. And I think I might be still a little bit too far away. I might just come in a bit. How's that? I think that looks a bit better and you can see a bit easier. So I've got this beautiful, what looks like flocking. It's really nice. So I've got that on there. And I'm going to take these two pieces, just with a bit of, and I'm thinking I might want a very soft, just something very different to what I've done before. I'm going to take light petal pink. It's very light colour. And I'm just thinking I might just give this cake a little bit of colour in and around. Just popping a bit of colour around the cake. Because it is a cake after all. Yeah, I'm happier with that. And I'll just put a little bit down here. I think just that bit of colour in the cake for this particular one looks great. So I'm going to glue that onto my square centre. So I'm just going to glue that flat. And pop that like so. Nice border around it. Even though I've wiped my glass mat, there's still little bits of the sanding. Just seems to be just sticking a little bit. So I've got this beautiful, beautiful ribbon. It's an iridescent ribbon with beautiful strips in between. And so this I thought would be perfect for what I would like to use on the back of the card. So make sure I've got it the right way, and I want to pop it. Pop it like so. Work out roughly what I need. And if I thought of it, I could have done it. Hello! Long time no see, Miss Kay. Did everything go all right at physio? I hope so. Yeah, the granny apple looks great, doesn't it? It's a really nice colour. I'm just going to pop that. I'm going to pop that in the middle of my card. No, that's not going to work. I was going to staple it, but it's not going to work. So I'm just going to grab a bit of tape. Oh, sorry about that. To make it a little bit easier, I'm going to put a bit of tape across the back. And it will just help me to hold it in place while I shape it. Because, you know, let's make sure which way I want it to go. So, lay it down like so. We're going to loop it up and down. We're not going to tie a bow or anything like that. I just want to give it some looping. I'll take a piece of tape again just to hold it in place. It doesn't hurt to have a bit of extra tape. Oh, good to hear, Kay. Okay, I've taken that off. Now I'm going to get my dimensionals. Oh, do you think I could think of the name? It just went blank. Oh, how horrible is that? Just lift that a little bit to move across. Sit that like so. Just pop them on. And put one in the centre, right there. And that's the other advantage of having a piece of tape over the top, because the dimensionals don't like the ribbon much. They like to lift a bit. Put that away. And I'm going to just adhere that, just like so, onto the page. Actually, I might just take this and bring out my green a little bit further, because it just got hidden a bit, didn't it? I reckon that'll help. That's better. There we go. Just getting a bit of colour, so I'm just going to trim this extra long piece and trim this little piece here. There we go, looking good. Right, now I'm going to take this and I'm going to glue this part one down. And I'm just going to glue this in place. Flip that over and line that up. And as I said, it's only a minute border, but I only wanted the border just to show through. Put that down. I'll get my card. And then I'm going to put dimensionals on the back. Can never have too many dimensionals on your projects. There and there. Take your pick tool. Pick off the backs. them away. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of glue to each of the dimensionals. But you're saying, but Anita, they're sticky. Well, yes, I know. But I want to be able to, if I don't quite get it right, I'd like to be able to move them when I'm lining up a piece. Because I'm not always spot on accurate. Make sure my card opens the right way. And I'm going to pop that on. Perfect. There it is. Get some Wink of Stella and pop some Wink just to give it a bit of pop there. Now we'll go to the inside and I'll do these pieces. So I'm going to glue this in. When I made my sample this morning, I used Pool Party, and that was because I had a sheet of the Pool Party in the two-tone cardstock. So I'm going to do that. I'll take my brush, just bring a bit of colour, a little bit more ink. Bring a bit of colour in here, just like so. Touch of glue on my hand then. Take that out of the way. And I'm going to get from our stamp set, I'm going to grab the little heart. It's a cute little heart. And I'm going to take my Secret Sea and I'm just going to pop the heart like so. Just adds a little touch. You like the two tones, the poor Wink of Stella. Yes, sorry, Kay. I do give it a bashing, but I love Wink of Stella, so I'm sorry. And yes, Glenda, two-tone cardstock. It elevates something that you want to do. I mean, if I was to do this on an ordinary piece of cardstock, I would be using Versamark and white embossing powder to achieve that effect. So why not? We'll just pop this. I thought I got it into the ink pad, but anyway, it's the underside, thank God. And we'll just pop that like so, just leaving that little bit of a border. Lately, I've been enjoying just doing small borders on my cards, because I just like the look of it just popping out. So how many packs did you buy, Glenda, or have you just bought one of the assorted packs? I think, is there a, now that I've said that, I'm wondering if there is an assorted pack in the catalogue. I will have to look that up. Now that we're talking about the two-tone cardstock. So there's, on page 77, you'll find all our colours of the two-tone. And I'm not sure, it's not to say there, but I'm just looking at It's only talking, no, it looks like there's no combo packs of the two-tone. But don't take that for gospel. It looks like they're all individual colours, so means you've got a lot of scope when you pick your colours. Now I'm going to take a piece of the green, and I'm just debating whether to want to stamp Do you ever change your mind from beginning to end of how you're going to look? Yeah, that's what I just, yeah, the mixtures are in this, you're right, Glenda, the mixtures are in the scrapbooking sets, but, and this, but yeah, so you've just got to have a look, have a really good look to find out what you're going to do. So I'm going to go, and I want to cut this up. I'm just working out how best to do this. I'm going to stamp this. If this doesn't work, I will just stamp another one. Got two images in mind for the sentiment. So cut that out. So much joy. That one I've used from the Everyday You and Me, and this is an online exclusive stamp set. Put that away. Put that out of the way. And I'm going to just do some fussy cutting on that piece because I want to break the words up. So I'm going to take so much. Let's take that and pop that, cut that out. Just like so. Straighten it up. And then I'm going to fussy cut the word joy to give it a bit more of a different look. Don't use your scissors to turn around, use your cardstock. There we go. Come up there. Could just about cut each letter out, couldn't I? But I want it as one word, so nah. Just come through there. And sorry about this, if I had thought of it earlier, I would have cut it out earlier and saved you watching me fussy cut. But it's a fairly straightforward one. It's not a difficult one to fussy cut. Just come in there. Round. Now it's getting a bit fiddly to cut because it's getting smaller. Pull it round, bring it up, and we will trim that. Okay. So my plan is to have this sitting up here and this down here. But I'm going to pop it onto the Granny Apple green cardstock. So to make it work, I'm just going to put a bit of glue on the back of that. Pop that up in that corner. Just leaving a very small border, just like so. And then I'll take this one, pop a bit of glue. And you know, with our Tombow glue, you don't need a lot of ink. Just a few little dots, as this stuff does really hold. And I'll just put this one down here. Like so. And if it's a bit sticky, get this. Hello, Cherry, welcome. Oh, you've just been over with the other two. How are they today? They kept you on your toes? Or have you still got them? I'll take that off and we'll just, with our scissors, I'm not going to use the trimmer. I'm just going to cut the small border around the wording. I'm glad you can't see me because I've just realised I've got my tongue sticking out a mile while I'm trying to fussy cut. Bad habit I collected off my mother. She always had her tongue out when she was sewing and she was busy concentrating. And I've discovered I'm doing the same sort of thing. Just a small around here. Just so it's shadowed a bit with the green. Cut around there. Come up. So what's everyone's plans for this week? You're frightened of getting wet. Oh, is it raining in Caniva? I've got nothing here. We need the rain badly. I saw a little cartoon and I thought it was so appropriate. It was two farmers at the border of Victoria and New South Wales. And the farmer on the fed side of Victoria, crops were dry, the cattle were skinny, and the farmer on the New South Wales side was up to his neck in water. And I thought, it's very promising. And the caption, the farmer on the Victorian side said, "It never rains." And the farmer on the New South Wales side said, "No, it's always pouring." So it was very much what's happening here. I see you're getting a bucket full, are you, Cherry? Are you studying again tomorrow, Jacinta? Well, I hope you feel better in yourself to be able to work. There we go, all done. Pop this in the bin before I send them all over the floor. Right, once again, I'm going to get some dimensionals. Let's put a couple on the back of that one. Who uses a lot of dimensionals? Because I go through heaps. I think I have enough, and then I end up having to buy more in the next order. Okay, we'll put some behind here. And where's my little ones? I don't know about anybody else, but I like to pick up my little ones because they're so tiny. I pick them up in my Take Your Pick tool. Helps me to place them at the same time. Just they're very tiny. Cut that one in half. You've got the dust. Well, at the moment, we're not getting any of that. But that's not to say it's not coming. So we certainly could do with the rain. It would be, the farmers need it. No more the dust. I've done all my dusting today. I'm being very selfish, aren't I? And I'm just going to use the edge of my So if you don't know, every piece of your dimensional sheet can be used, whether it be for doing like I'm doing now, just cutting some little fine pieces so that I can use them with wording, or to fill the back of a card, up, just in one big piece. There we go, all done. So I'm going to take the backs off these. These little ones will be the hardest. Oh, so you got dust too at Rainbow. Well, it must be coming. I did hear that Adelaide were really copying it, like around there. So, and I think we might. No, I'm going to leave that straight, and I'm going to have that this way. There we go. Now we just got to finish it off with some decoration. These are the new holographic resin dots, and I thought with the Granny Apple Green, this colour is perfect. And if I lift the sheet, look at that. Aren't they beautiful? So I'm going to take a large gem, pop that down in there, pop a medium one just up there, and a small one just down there. There we go. There's my card. So just very simple with this beautiful little line set, and then I've got a little card, a little heart on the inside, continuing that flocking look. Flocking. That sounds terrible. Oh my God. Hello, Rhonda. How are you today? How's the weather up your way? Yeah, I think it's a beautiful card. I really love it. As I said, I struggled with the stamp set, but now that I've started with it, I'm really happy with where I'm going. Just move these out of the way. So earlier today, as I said, this was my first one using the blue. I had a smaller strip than I've got on this one, and I didn't colour the cake. So just a nice soft card, and again using just the Secret Sea. I then did one where I used the Pool Party. I stamped the images on, and then I scrunched it and roughed it up, but the images got lost. So I embossed them and then coloured them, and there's my view looking into the sea with the animals. Then our dog, I've done one there. Our flower, just with a simple fold. And this one was done with when we had our team meeting, and this is using your blends to create the background colour. So there they all are, all different sorts. The only one I haven't used yet is the bike. And I'll have to think of something with the bike and the dove. But the bike, you know, I've got two sons that used to cycle all the time. So that would be something. Oh, you've got the wind too. Yeah, I'm very happy with the Granny Apple Green. It's really brought the colours out. And sanding it, the two-tone cardstock really makes a difference. So I'm happy with it. I've evolved from when I started the first one. And isn't that what our card making is all about, is evolving all the time? But yeah, if I take all these others away and just put the two of them that are similar together, you'll see just how they look. They are really, really nice and really pretty. And as I said, when I did this, even though the powder definitely was covering everything, it didn't show up as well as on this one. So but I'm thinking my clear embossing powder is probably 10 or 11 years old, and they do not work all the time. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today and that you like the cards. And if you're watching the replay, please let me know what you think of the cards and what you think of this stamp set, because it is a very different stamp set in the kit, in the catalogue. And you certainly can do. This is one that I think your imagination will go, and I think a gift for somebody, you could do each of the images and make different, like birthday, sympathy. The rose would be beautiful for a sympathy one, anything like that. And you could then pop that into a little gift box and give that to someone as a gift. So it's a really nice little set to play with. Very, very simple. But, and as I said, I struggle with it, but once I got going, my mind, I just needed to get it going. I think when I was given this, I thought, yeah, no. But now I do enjoy it. So it's really nice. So I'm going to say thank you, everyone, once again for watching. And we will meet again next Monday at 1:30. So bye for now, and thank you for watching.